Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, future mother-in-law cuts up homemade wedding dress. Mother-in-law announced my pregnancy and secret marriage. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Future mother-in-law cuts up homemade wedding dress. This story is from my aunt. My aunt is a dressmaker, so for her wedding she decided to sew her own dress so it would have extra special, but her MIL wanted her to wear the dress MIL wore for her wedding. Now don't get it wrong, the dress was beautiful, but it wasn't my aunt's style, so she politely told her she wanted to wear the dress she was making MIL seem upset, but she paid no mind. A few months later, and my aunt finished her dress, she told FIL and MIL the news. Then MIL asked if my aunt could bring the dress so she could see it. She said she would. When she arrives at her in-laws, she noticed her FIL wasn't home. When she was brought inside, MIL asked to hold the dress, and before my aunt could respond, MIL grabbed it from her and went to a different room, locked the door. When she walked out, the dress was totally ruined. The skirt was cut up and the bodice was ripped. MIL then said, "Since your wedding is next week and this thing is ruined, you can wear my wedding dress instead." My aunt couldn't believe what happened and just took the ruined dress and drove home crying. She called my uncle, her fiancé, and told him what happened. He was furious at his mother. He told my aunt to wait at their house while he dealt with it. Sometime later he comes back with over $1,000. He told her that he got his mother to pay them for ruining the dress and to get a new dress. My aunt was still upset, but her wedding went smoothly and she had a good time. Dang. That's crazy. I'm glad he handled it and made his mom pay for it. Lots of sons have trouble accepting money from their moms, but she definitely needed to pay. I hope they cut contact after that, because who knows what she is capable of. OMG, how terrible. I'm sorry, but I'm super petty, so I would have kept my composure and agreed to wear her dress and left, taken both dresses home and got toddler creative and chopped them all up into pieces and came back to her house to spread the remains all over her lawn, then tell my husband about it, uninvited her to my wedding, and then last minute found a new dress. If I can't have my dream dress, neither would she, cause it must mean a lot for her to get out of character, and that will prevent her from trying to force that on my future kid. I like you. Is your aunt's MIL one of Cinderella's stepsisters? I've read a couple similar stories about MIL or SIL cutting up a bride's gown. Once I would like to read that the bride half-assed pieced the gown back together and wore it anyway. Then let MIL explain the state of the dress. What did your aunt end up wearing? I hope she didn't agree to wear her MIL's dress. She wore a new dress from a bridal shop. Wow, that's insane. I certainly hope she went NC with her crazy MIL. I would have called the police and not allowed her at the wedding. I would have accepted the dress, then set it on fire. Set it on fire at the wedding. So MIL was uninvited from the wedding? Please tell me there were more consequences for her than that. A handmade wedding dress is worth so much more than $1,000. Mother-in-law announced my pregnancy and secret marriage. My mother-in-law is toxic in a million ways, but given that I'm not in the mood to write a novel, I will focus on the lack of respect for privacy. My husband and I got married in private a few years back, with plans to have a public wedding later. Only immediate family was invited to the small ceremony and were told to keep it a secret. My MIL slipped up the day of the wedding and confessed that she told her friends, then she lied and said no. I told them it was an engagement dinner. We had been publicly engaged for 2 years at that point and no one would buy that. Years later, she confessed to telling people. Now I am 10 weeks pregnant and have only told immediate family. She initially agreed she would keep it a secret. Even said she was superstitious and wouldn't dream of saying anything until after the first trimester, she has told her friends. She lied and told my husband that her friends overheard me talking about it at an event. Which I know to be 1000% a lie. Haven't even had my first ultrasound yet and she has spread news that isn't hers. The kicker is she now is requesting permission to tell her distant relatives, pretty sure she has already told them. My husband didn't address her telling her friends and redirected her to contacting me for permission, but she has yet to call. My husband is acting like telling her to not tell more people fixes the fact that she has already violated those boundaries. I want the fact that she already told her friends addressed. I'm literally fuming. I know how it will go. She will hold tight to the lie that her friends overheard and give a false apology based on that. Not on blatantly ignoring our wishes. She is the Achilles in our marriage, and we just recently had a catastrophic fight involving her. How do I shut this down for good? Absolutely do not tell her anything until you're ready for it to be made public. Explain your reasons to your husband. If he goes against your wishes, then you also have a husband problem, not just a MIL problem. I believe you have a serious DH problem. He's the one who needs to take care of this huge problem because it's his mother. As for you, best thing to do is go and see with her on everything, as well as block her. Let your husband deal with her directly if he wants. She's not your responsibility. You take care of yourself first as your priority number one. If your DH has issues with you about going in see, don't back down. Also suggest seeing a therapist. Congrats on the baby. Start to gray rock her and tell her nothing personal. Counseling with your husband. If he's arguing with you, excusing or ignoring her behavior and not giving her consequences, then he's allowing it. If he refuses to deal with it, then warn him you are dealing with it and God help him if he fails to have your back. Then I'd send her the following. MIL, anyone who gossips about me or my family's private business will now be the last to find out about our lives. You have repeatedly violated this boundary, and I'm no longer tolerating excuses. This is not up for discussion or negotiation. If you attempt to circumvent me or complain about this, you'll be the last to meet LO. I am trying to preserve our relationship by being honest with you. If you refuse to accept my right to say no, expect privacy, or to treat me as your peer and equal, then I don't have to tolerate it. Stop telling her things. It's my husband, not me. But I'm surely putting an end to that. After this, she will get nothing. Not even a glimpse at the ultrasound pictures. This. And tell your husband you and him are supposed to be a team. Stop being a doormat and sack up. He needs to be your advocate and back his mom down. You need to start setting boundaries and expectations now, or she'll run right over you during your pregnancy. And get worse once the baby is here. He's your husband now, and you and the baby come first. Her wants and needs aren't you guys' problems. Information diet. Tell her nothing until you are ready and have already informed everyone you wish to inform. Start now. She's the last from now on. Gender. Birth. Name. She knows when everybody else does. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. I should have known. No third round for her, because that means shame on yourself for knowing better this would happen. This is the reason why my MIL is always the one to be the last to be told. You need to ask your husband why his mother is more important to him than respecting his wife. From your DH mom, your friend did not overhear my wife at XY event, I know, because she did not mention her pregnancy there. Your friend knows because you told them. This is my wife's and my news. We will share it when we are ready with the people we want to share it with. There is no need for you to tell anyone. I am not a child who needs a parent to pass on my news. Stop treating me as if I am. She's always the last to know. Problem solved. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.